coming up.
We're demonstrating carcass quality through our beef program. The Brahmans of the past are not the ones you're seeing today that BRC is producing.
They're the only breeder in the Brahman breed who has genomically enhanced TPDs, and in fact are the only ones that would even be able to generate that on the Brahman breed.
See how a ranching family in Texas developed the next generation of Brahman genetics. Next on The American Rancher. Hello and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. Today we're with Brandon and Rachel Cutrer, a ranching couple in Texas whose roots run deep and wide in America's beef industry. Brandon is the manager of BR Cutrer Incorporated, the couple's semen, cattle, and branded beef operation. And Rachel is the founder of Ranch House Designs, a prominent ag marketing firm. Together, the Cutrers have built strong brands of agricultural innovation for themselves and their customers.
BR Cutrer Incorporated, or more commonly referred to as BRC, is a family operation owned by my wife Rachel and I and our two daughters, Molly and Annie. And we started BRC in September of 2019, but we're no strangers to Brahman or the ranching community.
I'm a seventh generation cattle rancher here in Wharton County on the Gulf Coast of Texas. My family has been involved in the cattle ranching for over 150 years, starting with the matriarch of our family, who I'm also named after, Rachel Hudgens. And she was a young child who survived the runaway scrape of the Texas Revolution. She got married and she was widowed at a young age, and she and her four sons actually started the J.D. Hudgens Ranch, which is an extremely prominent ranch which is still standing today in the USA. And so from this 150-year legacy that we have of being involved in the Brahman breed that's allowed us to put BRC where we are now. We cherish the past so much and we're so thankful for those people, but we're always looking to the future, and we feel we owe it to those people to continue to be innovative and provide great Brahman cattle for the world and great service to our customers.
So we feel like we've been blessed by the Lord to have a particular set of talents and being blessed with these Brahman cattle, and we feel like because of those blessings, it's our job to be the best stewards of that when we possibly can. And we take our stewardship of our cattle very seriously. So we're always striving to be as progressive as we possibly can to breed the best Brahman cattle that we possibly can. You know, traditionally, Brahman cattle have been used here in the southern part of the United States, in the desert Southwest, to fight the heat and be heat tolerant, insect resistant. Brahman cattle are long-lived cattle. They typically live up to 18 to 20 years old. You know, they bring a lot of benefits to the American beef industry. We realize that Brahman is a tool for crossbreeding, and the F1 Brahman cross, whether you're crossing it with a Hereford or an Angus or a Shorthorn, whatever breed that you're using, that F1 cross just makes a supercharged animal that's extremely efficient in terms of reproductive efficiency, growth rates, forage conversion, and are just perfectly suited for the conditions and environments here in the southern United States. The desert Southwest, whether it's a marsh down in southern Louisiana or southern Florida, these Brahman cattle have the environmental adaptability perfectly suited for those areas to have efficient beef production in land that would be considered marginal by most. So everybody knows those really good benefits that Brahmans have, but also there's some perceptions like poor carcass quality, poor reproductive performance as a purebred, disposition issues. But here at BRC, we're working every day by collecting data and performance testing our cattle and continually selecting for the traits that will make them more efficient in those areas and improve in those areas. We produce the modern American Brahman that have the traits that Brahman cattle are traditionally known for, of heat tolerance, longevity, pest resistance, and can survive in harsh environmental conditions. But they also have the added advantages of improved carcass, improved udder quality, improved reproductive efficiency, and also have that look and style that would make any rancher or producer happy to have these cattle in their front pasture.
With them having genomically enhanced TPDs, it provides additional information. They're the only breeder in the Brahman breed who has genomically enhanced TPDs, and in fact, are the only ones that would even be able to generate that on the Brahman breed. Forever, you know, people bought cattle or producers bought cattle based on phenotype. And then as we had expected progeny differences that evolved, well, then that was an additional tool. Then we had ultrasound, and then we had DNA technology. And now we've taken all of that and we put it into a genomically enhanced DPD where all of those things are combined. And as a result of that, when people show up at BR Cutrer Incorporated, they're able to buy an animal that is armed with a complete toolbox, that they have the most information that they could possibly find. And as a result of that, they know that animal's going to perform extremely well, and as a result, propel their program.
We were recently selected the 2022 BIF Seed Stock Producer of the Year. And for those that don't know, BIF is the Beef Improvement Federation, and to us, as the gold standard as far as seed stock production. So the fact that among a very, very impressive group of finalists, we were selected as the top seed stock producer sure is an honor to us and something we take very, very seriously at BRC.
After the break,
people ask us all the time, why Brahman? And when we got involved and started buying cattle together, Brahman was just, the smart money is on the Brahman cattle.
see why the Cutrer's modern American Brahman cattle are raising eyebrows around the world. That story is after the break, here on The American Rancher. Welcome back to The American Rancher. Brahman cattle were developed long ago to excel in heat and insect tolerance. The benefits of Brahman in crossbreeding programs are well known, but the Cutrers have developed their Brahman cattle to include impressive fertility and carcass merits to the breed's list of attributes.
When I was a student at Texas A&M, I was actually on the meat judging team for Texas A&M University. And every time we would travel to a national packing plant, my coach would point out a rail of Brahman cattle and have me grade it. And this was over 20 years ago, and honestly, the grades were never that high. And that lit a spark in me, and I thought, we need to change this. And so when Brandon and I got married, we both had that spark, and we started working on it. We started by carcass ultrasounding our cattle, and when we began, we had less than 20% choice, but it gave us a benchmark of where to start from, and then through genetics and DNA and constant improving, we've been able to get that to a point where we're nearly 100% choice. And we felt confident enough that it was time to put Brahman beef out there. And we said to ourselves, if not us, who's gonna do it? So in 2018, we launched Brahman Country Beef, which is 100% purebred Brahman beef. And we started out at farmers markets, and the acceptance was just wild. And then we opened an online store, and it continued to grow, so much to the point that we felt we needed a brick and mortar store. And so in early 2022, we purchased a historic building in the county seat of Wharton County, and we opened the ranch downtown. And this is a farm-to-table retail store with our main product being Brahman Country Beef. And the acceptance has just been unbelievable, honestly. Our customers, they love the flavor, they love the health benefits. They also love knowing that it comes from ranchers right here in their home county, where they can see the pride that we have in the way we care for the cattle, and it's just been a huge success.
We're demonstrating carcass quality through our beef program. We're putting our money where our mouth is. You know, the Brahmans of the past are not the ones you're seeing today that BRC is producing.
This shows us how BRC Brahman beef can perform at a carcass level from marbling, tenderness, and flavor. And keep in mind, our beef is 100% purebred Brahman beef. And so when you take BRC Brahmans and you cross them with already excellent Angus or Hereford genetics, it's just gonna be great. And it's definitely not gonna hurt your program as far as sacrificing marbling or tenderness.
With the demand for our beef being so high, we've run into the problem of not being able to supply enough on our own. So we've opened it up to our cooperators and all of our customers and offer a buyback program for our steers. We've come up with a protocol where they're developing those calves and they get them to us. We'll send them and start developing them just to go into our beef program. And so that's not only has it helped us come up with a great market and a great avenue to market our steer calves, but it's also helped us become to give back to our customers even more and offer more customer service to give them an avenue to market their steer calves as well. And it's just been wonderful. And you know, here we believe a rising tide raises all boats, and as many people as we can help, that's what we want to do.
From high-performance crossbreeding to purebred Brahman beef production to success in the show ring, B.R. Cutrer's modern American Brahman are moving the needle for their customers' bottom line.
In old school Brahman mentality, there's always been really two strains of Brahman type cattle. The first being the real beefy type cattle with a lot of muscle, really good function, but maybe these cattle just needed to be prettied up a little bit. And then there was the train of thought of the really pretty cattle, but they lacked the muscle and they lacked the functionality and they even lacked a little bit of fertility and reproduction. And Brandon and I got to thinking, it would be really great if we could somehow meld these two together. And that's when BRC started thinking about the modern American Brahman of our dream. And we've done that over the last decade. And so we've been able to build these cattle that are really three-dimensional, packed with beef, packed with muscle. And I think a lot of that goes back to we're also in the beef business, so that's really important to us. But we like a pretty animal, and so they've got all that power, but they're also feminine or they're masculine. They've got a style about them. And it's really taken off. The world has just embraced what we've called this modern Brahman, and people are really asking for the modern Brahman. And it's also carried over into the show ring when we've been able to win more national and international champion females of any other ranch of the last decade. And we're just getting started.
Man must measure. And of course, I think with more information, we're able to make more informed decisions. As a result of that, we're able to progress not only their program, but the breed. And of course, you know, with them having more information, I think they've certainly seen genetic progress, primarily in the area of carcass. And then, of course, they looked at many of the convenience traits, from docility to cattle that get up and nurse, of course, the growth traits. And, you know, with the information that they have, not only through the data they've collected, but through the utilization of genomics, as well as an index that they have, well, then, of course, they've been able to excel and improve their entire program.
I'm a fourth generation farmer and rancher. My grandpa, Jack O'Garrett's with me today. I bought the cattle from him in 2016, but many years before that, my great-grandfather was, he got into the Brahman business with Mr. Edgar Hudgens, passed it down to my grandpa and my grandma, and I'm just carrying on the tradition. I decided to partner with BRC because Brandon and Rachel are very well known in the Brahman breed, not only for quality cattle, but just quality people as well. And I like to surround myself with people who can make me better. And Brandon and Rachel are very approachable. They're very kind. They're very willing to help others. And you know, they're people that I admire. We do something a little bit different here. We're kind of breeding more towards the commercial cattleman type cows. I like to call them the cowman's cows because they're a lot more moderate. Everything you see in the show ring's a lot larger framed animal, and so when I say the cowman's cow, I say that these cattle are easy keeping, and by that I mean they can keep their condition on them through the hard times, you know, the tough winters and all that kind of stuff. They are smaller framed, but that means that there's less input that needs to go into them. So with them being able to maintain their body condition, and they're more susceptible to breed back and fertility. You know, you got to have calves on the ground. A commercial cow man, that's how he makes his money. So that's why we do what we're doing.
People ask us all the time, why Brahman? And when we got involved and started buying cattle together, Brahman was just, the smart money is on the Brahman cattle. And we realized that to get to the top of the breed, the front of the class, we wanted to be in the registered end of it. Bring that knowledge that we'd used in the horse business, the genetics, the mating, and kind of bring that fast forward to the cattle business, and that's what we've been able to do, and it's really served us well. In any business, it's all about relationships, so when we started developing and building our Brahman herd, it was just made sense to go to the top, and really Brandon and Rachel at B.R. Cutrer have just been great allies, great friends, great partners, and you can kind of plug into their program at any point, any place that you feel comfortable or that just suits your program. We own the Captain Bull, the 518/1 bull with them, and numerous other cattle, donor cows. For Nancy and I, when we begin to buy more cattle and get involved, we realized the Brahman cattle down here in the Gulf Coast region was really the smart money, because all the breeds that make it down here have to be Brahman influenced. And we're like, well, if you're gonna have Brahman influenced cattle, why don't go straight to the source and just have the Brahman cattle? It made more sense. And we wanted to have the best of the best, be the front of the class, and that's where we've ended up, and we've really enjoyed it. It's taken time, takes money, takes a lot of hard work, just some tremendous people, tremendous relationships. But the Brahman cattle for us, they got in our eye, and they're still there, and we love those cattle. Cattle are really gentle, they adapt really well, they like big country, they like to travel. They're just outstanding.
So eared cattle with Brahman influence are really expanding all across the South and even further north, because the farm-to-table beef craze has really taken off. And when you infuse those Brahman genetics, you're gonna get an added boost of heat tolerance, which is important for global warming and climate change. But when you use BRC Brahmans, you're not gonna lose any carcass quality. You're gonna be able to maintain marbling, and you're also gonna get that added boost of Brahman beef flavor and heart-healthy benefits that we find in Brahman cattle compared to other breeds.
Ranching and raising cattle can be hard enough, so when you buy from BRC, know that you're buying more than just cattle. You're buying into a program. We offer our cooperator herds the ability to market their cattle with our brand through our program. We help find where they fit in the industry. We have 2 internet sales a year, where we sell the very best of our female offspring. We also like to give our customers the opportunity to invest in what we consider our very best AI sire prospect of that year. With that being said, we do also offer our very best frozen genetics monthly in what we call our genetic drop, as well as having live cattle available year-round here private treaty.
After the break,
We've gone full force with Ranch House. They do a phenomenal job.
learn how Rachel's company, Ranch House Designs, is helping to improve the bottom line for ranchers by improving their marketing strategies. Stay with us. Welcome back to The American Rancher. In addition to working with Brandon and their cattle operation, Rachel Cutrer is the CEO of Ranch House Designs, a marketing firm that specializes in developing marketing tools for ranchers and ag businesses worldwide.
So nobody knows your story unless you tell it, and a great marketing program is essential to that. BRC is actually a great testament to that, because when we started 3 years ago, we literally had 0 social media followers, and today we have 160,000 social media followers, and we reach over 1 million people a month. And that marketing has been just a crucial driver in our ranch's success, especially for a new brand. And so a lot of people think that you may not need to advertise when things are good, you only need to advertise when sales are low, but it's actually the opposite. You need to be advertising all the time, especially a website, because in today's day and age, the first place people go when they're looking for a new business is Google. And if you don't have a mobile-friendly website or an updated website, you're not going to show up, but your competitors will. In 1999, I started the business of Ranch House Designs, which is a full-service agriculture, marketing, and web design agency. And I've been so lucky throughout my life. I've been able to breed great cattle through our ranch and also promote great cattle through all of my customers' ranches. And currently we do over 800 websites for cattle ranchers all over the world. And a lot of our business starts with brand development, so building a logo, building a ranch brand, and then moves into building ranch websites, sale catalogs, print advertising, even online stores. So Ranch House Designs is the agency that can help you with all of that.
Going back to our family's heritage and the brand that's behind our heritage, we stepped out into a different business, and that's the retail business. Steve and I own South Texas Tack, and we've really tried to carry our brand, the Bar Nothing brand, as our logo of the business. And we've worked with Ranch House Designs, and they've just done a phenomenal job for South Texas Tack with helping us build our brand and our logo and getting us exposed to that side of the marketing.
We wanted a new design for Walters Livestock, so we contacted Rachel and Ranch House and the folks there and visited with them a little bit, and they said, well, tell us what you want. And so we kind of told them, and we sent them a picture. The ranch house folks took that and made that rebel outline with our brand on her, and then with the Walters Livestock. I mean, we literally just told them what we wanted, sent them a picture, and they came up with the options. And as they say, the rest is history. And we're very, very happy with our logo, and they're also designing our website and everything. We've gone full force with Ranch House. They do a phenomenal job.
And the unique thing about us is we know the cattle business because we live it every day. And that really gives us a tremendous advantage over other marketing firms because we know how to connect with the ranching customer. And we also have affordable pricing so that ranchers can budget their advertising throughout the year and make a plan and stick to it. Recently, we've seen a lot of increase in ranchers just like us who have started their own farm-to-table operations. And so that's been cool to see that grow over time because we're able to help give advice to our customers to diversify their ranches and grow their businesses.
Go online at ranchhousedesigns.com or call the number on your screen and set up a no-obligation initial consultation with Rachel. Then, the Ranch House Design team will go to work to design a logo, website, and a customized marketing plan that will move your program to the next level. That's all the time we have today. To find out more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick for our entire American Rancher team. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.